Are you ready for the season of spring? Spring is here, and I'm so excited to be setting up my spring journal in this video. Now, confession, I used to not really love the season of spring. I was more of a fall winter girl, but since I have become really into gardening and spending time outside, I now love the season of spring because it means all those things are on the horizon. So, my spring journal is a journal that's available on Amazon, and it comes in three sizes. There's a traveler's notebook size, which I'm using right now. There's a B6 size, so a little smaller, and an A5 size. And I will have all three of those linked in the description box below if you want to pick one of those up, and those are Amazon affiliate links. They also have these spring notepads that you see here. And so there's one that is titled My Prayer, and then another one that doesn't have a specific title on it with the green florals. And so these are available in the Creative Faith Etsy shop, and they're actually on sale. So I'm doing a sale on them for 20% off of these and all of the printables in the spring section of my Etsy shop are all 20% off for the next week. So through next Friday, March 28th. I love starting new projects and new seasons with prayer. So I am putting this prayer notepad page down on the spring journal. I did trim off the edges a little bit because the notepads are 4x6, and so it's just nice to trim off a little bit for it to sit a little better in the traveler's notebook page. And then I am using my spring mugs and journals printable, and I really use this one a lot in setting it up. It comes with a lot of great elements, mugs, journals, hearts, hand lettered phrases that are perfect for setting up your spring journal and doing spring journaling. And then I'm using my Creative Faith pen to write a prayer. And so I'd encourage you to take some time today, whenever you're watching this video, to pray for your spring season, to give it to the Lord, trust that He is in control and that His plans are good for the season ahead. And I just love how cute florals are in this notepad, and it makes it really easy to do spring journaling. So definitely check out these notepads in the Creative Faith Etsy shop. I love using them in my journaling. So, next, I continued on with setting up my journal, and I love printing photos from Pinterest. Be sure you're following me on Pinterest. I have a spring board that I will link in the description box below. I have pictures that I've taken in that board, as well as some spring quote pages that I made, as well as other people's spring images that I love to include in just making a fun little mood board. And then not all the pictures fit on those pages, so I put them on the little wellness page as well. I'm using my rectangle months printable. This is another one that I used off and on through setting this up. And so I used that on the top of a few pages, and then I also use it here too for the 1 line a day. I love doing 1 line a day journaling because it's a super simple way to document what happened in your day. And I just have a bunch of my month printables in this container here, but I only found March, April, and May. So June, I ended up handwriting, but I thought the pink color was really fun for the spring. So I print everything on white sticker paper or clear sticker paper, and it just makes it really easy to adhere on the page. And so I am setting up the daily routine pages. And so I did one for the morning routine and one for the evening routine. And I'd love for you to comment below. What is something you love to do in the morning or evening during the spring season? So there are different prompts on the top of each of the pages, and I love the very back has these cute little photo frames, and it's always so much fun to print off pictures at the end of the spring season and adhere them to the back. and working on decorating the inside cover where it says spring journal, and I have this fun to-do list that I added, and that's from the spring mugs and journals printable that I mentioned. And I also love adding washi tape also to the tops and bottoms of my pages. And so you'll see me do that quite often as I'm doing these setups as well too. So another great way. That's why I purposely don't put the prompt at the very top of the page because I love to leave room for washi tape. And then I'm using the green floral notepad. Again, it's 20% off right now, and I am putting it on the prayer list for spring page. Of course, I could have done the prayer notepad page too, but I wanted to mix it up and use the notepad page. And so that way I can make a prayer list for the season. So this was day one of working on it. And then day two, I finished my spring bucket list printable. This is also 20% off right now. It's a new printable, and it comes with 8.5 by 11 size spring bucket list pages, but I also made traveler's notebook sized pages with the spring bucket list on them. So I was really excited that I got this finished, and I hope you'll pick up this printable. If you haven't yet, it's again new and 20% off. And so there are several different pages that have bucket lists. So there's one for regular bucket list. There's also a food and drink bucket list. And so I wanted to use these traveler's notebook size pages on some of those. So I didn't end up putting two on a page because I wanted to have one page open for additional ideas or even pictures. You can see I just used my Tombow tape runner. That's my favorite way. If I haven't printed things on sticker paper, that's my favorite way to add it to the page. And then I use the blank version. So there's a blank version in addition to the ones that have prompts on it. And so those are really great for you to make your own bucket lists. So if there's other ideas that are not on my list that you want to make, or if you want to combine, because I have different themed lists in this printable. So there's like crafty bucket list and a wellness bucket list and a rest and relax bucket list and a faith bucket list. So if you wanted to kind of combine those, your favorite from each of those into one, you can do it on this page. So I really love how these are turning out, but unfortunately, I just went through like pen after pen. I need to do an ink refill. I was writing down a few different lavender drinks that I want to make or try this spring season. It's something really fun. I love lavender, and I love that there are all sorts of fun lavender drinks around this time of year. So I am decorating that page, and then I also have this self-care bingo board page, and I can't remember if I do it now or in a moment, but what I ended up doing is copying over, oh no, I switched to the crafts page, sorry. So the crafts page, what I ended up doing here is I cut it out, but then I made like a giant tip in basically. So I put washi tape down the left side of the printable and made a big flap. So that way I can put pictures of spring crafts that I make. I can put them underneath that giant tip in. So I take washi tape, and it took me a few tries, but I put washi tape down the left side of the page there. And so this is a fun way to use the bucket list too. If you don't want to cover up the page, you can use it to make a giant tip in. So I'm excited I could find some different craft ideas on Pinterest and print those pictures there, or from the list itself do some of those craft ideas and print pictures. So I love my seasonal journals because it makes memory keeping really, really easy because you have all of these fun prompts to work with. So um, let's see, where are we at next? So I'm just continuing to use the printables that I cut out. So I did print and cut them, kind of batch cut them out. So they were all ready to go. So now I am adding various washi tapes to the different pages and just kind of adding some more stickers and decorative elements and starting to fill out some of the pages with some of my goals and plans for the spring. One thing I really like doing is going to a coffee shop and I will bring my spring journal with me and do some journaling. So that's a really fun idea to go to your local coffee shop and bring your spring journal and just spend some time praying and planning and documenting for the season ahead. And I just had a lot of fun setting this up and decorating and just really preparing my heart for the spring. It's going to be a really full and busy season, but I am just try and give it to the Lord each day that He would be in charge of my day, of my season, and that I can lean on Him for my strength. Another printable I pulled is one I released last year. It is my spring gratitude printable, and so I use that on the spring gratitude page, so that's a really good one. There's also a spring prayer journal page I released last year, and again, those are on sale for 20% off right now. Okay, now we're at the spring self-care bingo board bucket list. So instead of using the bucket list printable, I didn't want to cover the bingo board because I just love doing the bingo element of it. So I just used the spring bucket list printable as my ideas. And then I copied over those ideas into the bingo board because it's just really fun to have the bingo board element of things and just continuing to add more of the journaling elements. And of course, you don't need to add all of these things that I do. You can keep it simple and just use a pen for your journaling. But I just think it's kind of fun to get creative, use my craft supplies, and document the season. I love looking back on previous year's seasonal journals and just seeing all that happened. And so I'm excited to do that this year as well. And I was using my Tombow brush markers for highlighting some of the different titles on the pages. I was using the lighter colors, so a lighter pink and a lighter purple, so the lighter colors don't bleed through as much as if you had used kind of a darker color, probably would and would bleed through. So here's the final flip through and setup so far with what I did. So I spent 2 days working on setting this up. And stay tuned. Also, I do have plans to do a spring traveler's notebook setup. And I do have a setup video of the spring journal from last year, as well as a full spring 2024 journal flip through. So if you want to see how I used this journal last year, I will link those videos below in addition to my spring traveler's notebook setup. So if you want to see all that spring journal content from last year, you can definitely check all of that out. And there's a lot of fun things I'm working on for spring this year. This new magazine, Physical Creative Faith magazine, is in the works. And yeah, just lots of fun things on the horizon. But I hope you will pull out spring journal and use your fun spring printables to again pray for the season ahead, plan for the season ahead, think about, okay, ask God, what do you want me to do this spring? How do you want me to spend my time? And just really trust and lean on the Lord during this new season and use it to ultimately grow in your faith, draw closer to God because He is with you always. And even though seasons change, God never ever changes. And I think that is such great encouragement to remember that even though seasons change, God remains the same. So let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. I would love to see your spring journal setups using the Creative Faith Spring Journals or the Creative Faith Spring Printables. Be sure you're a part of the Creative Faith Facebook community. That's a really great way to share, a really great place to share your pictures and videos of your setup. It's just a fun place to hang out and share ideas. And let me know in the comments too what's something you are looking forward to this spring. I cannot wait to set up our garden, and I also cannot wait to spend time outside because that is just always really, really sweet. So be sure you're subscribed to the Creative Faith YouTube channel if you aren't yet. And if you've picked up one of these spring journals on Amazon, would you please take a few moments to go leave a review on Amazon? It is really helpful, and I love reading your reviews and using them to, share more about Creative Faith. And one other thing I was going to mention too is I have a page on the new Creative Faith website, and that page on the website has all links to all of the different Creative Faith Spring printables and lots of fun videos as well too. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here, and I pray God uses the spring season to draw you closer to Him. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next Creative Faith video. Bye, friend!